The Mount Carmel project was a project that included the building of 18 terraces, 9 below and 9 above the Shrine of the Bab. Terraces replete with beautiful gardens. They've been designated by the Israeli authorities as the 8th wonder of the world. It's a project that has been in effect for a decade, and this event marked the culmination of that project.
These gardens were constructed with the express purpose of beautifying the surroundings of the Shrine of the Bab. The Bab, one of the founders of the Baha'i faith, was executed by a firing squad in mid-19th century Persia. His remains were finally laid to rest on Mount Carmel, and the shrine constructed as a holy place of Baha'i pilgrimage at the faith's World Centre.
And his remains were secretly transported and eventually interred on the banks of Mount Carmel, thus fulfilling, as we understand it, the biblical prophecies of Isaiah, which state that in the last days the nations shall flow into the mountain of the Lord being Mount Carmel.
That was such an amazing feeling, really, to know that I was going to be part of this momentous occasion in Israel. And when I got there, I guess I had a feeling that it was surreal, that it was a dream. And even when I was sort of standing inside the terraces and looking at the Shrine of the Bab, the picture was so perfect. The weather was incredibly hot and the days were very clear and the heat was very dry, so everything was quite still. It was like a snapshot. Every time I looked at something, everything was just so perfect.
I remember like stepping onto Mount Carmel, onto the mountain, and just having this feeling of reverence, yeah, that it just automatically came to me.
It's a real blend of East and West, and when I looked up, because I really love gardening is one of my passions, and so in the books that I've read, the holy books, I always get a sense of what is planted. And the cypress trees, I understand, are a symbol of where the Bab came from in Shiraz, and the cypress trees are just lined all the way up the mountain.
Standing in the shadow of the Shrine of the Bab was a very emotional experience for myself, and certainly looking up the terraces above the Shrine of the Bab and reminiscing the 16 years previous when I had been a pilgrim, and remembering the differences, you know, the transformation of the mountain. I mean, that was a really emotional time for me, and one that stands profoundly in my memory.